Grazie, Roger. And radio check. It's Friday then, Saturday, Sunday, what? It's Friday then, Saturday, Sunday, what? Yeah, so you know what that was? That was a smooth operator.
Smooth operators coming through. Love seeing those guys have fun behind the wheel. What a great sport it is to be a part of, I'm sure. Welcome to Liberty Lap, where you'll get your Formula One news, analysis, and live stream from an American perspective. So we had a good week in Barcelona, Spain. We are wrapping it up, and all the cars are going back to the garage. We've got Cadillac here packing it up. They ran 164 laps between Valtteri and Checo. Can't wait to see that new livery on that new Cadillac. We should see that soon. We saw where they are speculating that it might be like the IMSA cars Cadillac with the yellow front end, which would, I'm not a big fan of yellow, but, I like the different colors on the car, so we'll support it either way. What else we have? We had the sustainable fuel exemption this week. So we're not sure which teams actually ran gasoline and which ones ran the sustainable fuels that will be mandated for the rest of the year. And, they're supposed to be meeting, FIA is supposed to be meeting soon about the motors and all the engines, see what happens with that. And maybe they'll even give a season exemption for this sustainable fuel. Who knows? Just speculating. Come on, cool. Let's keep going. Christian Horner spoke out this morning. I think it was, who was it? Sky Sports had an article out this morning about his unfinished business in F1 after Red Bull sacking, but will only return if he can win, I'm sure. It says Christian says he feels like he has unfinished business. It didn't finish the way he would have liked it to finish, but he's not coming back for just anything. I'm only going to come back for something if that something can win. So let's see what Christian Horner has up his sleeves. I know some teams have been kind of in the talks with him, but he wants to win. So we'll see what happens with him. Motorsport news right quick from Washington, D.C. President Trump signed a IndyCar race executive order. I'm not sure why it was an executive order, but nonetheless, IndyCar to race in Washington, D.C. on August the 23rd. That's interesting. Cool. Let's get back to Formula One. We had Oscar's take on the week.
Board as well. How was it? Another run in the car for you today. Decent number of laps on the board as well. How was it for you?
It was good. Nice to get some good laps on the board this morning. Much smoother day than the first two we've had, so that was nice. And I feel like I got into a pretty good rhythm and was able to start to feel what the car's actually like, which was nice. Tried a few things already to see how we can improve it and stuff like that. But just trying, running it in different configurations and kind of different settings and stuff like that to see what it's like for race weekends. So, all in all, I think it was a pretty successful morning.
Lots of work at the track this week for McLaren. Oscar Piastri, he came in, third in the standings last year, and he led the season. Most of the season, he was leading the championship points. So we'll see what he can do this year. Valtteri has a few words for us from Cadillac. Good to see him back on the field, on the grid.
Just a few days until you head out to Bahrain. What do preparations look like between now and then?
Oh, it's going to be busy between here and Bahrain for the whole team. And I'm going actually pretty much straight from here to simulator in the US. Try to do some correlation work, try to prepare for Bahrain. And as a team, we have now lots of data finally of the new car. So lots of analysis to do, maybe even build some new parts before Bahrain. So it's going to be hectic, but we're going to be ready for Bahrain. Yeah,
so all that data they collected, they're going to input that straight into the simulator and get to work this week. They've only got 2 weeks before Bahrain. And what else do we have? While we're on Cadillac, we've got Cadillac sound and the Red Bull sound and all the sounds. Haas, McLaren, let's listen to all of them. That might be a little loud. Let me cut that back a little bit. Sorry, guys. We're doing like a live show. So you get what you get when you get it. Let's keep going. We got Cadillac. Red Bull. Haas. Alpine. McLaren. Racing Bulls. Audi. Aston Martin. Mercedes. Ferrari. It is interesting to hear all the different sounds. Very, some subtle differences there. I kind of want to listen through that again. I love the sound of these cars. That Cadillac. The Red Bull sounds a little better than that Cadillac to me. Haas sounds like the Cadillac. Of course, that's the Ferrari engines. There's Alpine running the Mercedes engine. McLaren's running that Mercedes engine. The Red Bulls had some snap sound to it. That a little more higher end, it sounded like. Not the Red Bull, the Racing Bulls. Audi. Aston Martin definitely sounded different. That Honda engine. And we've got Mercedes here. Now, that Ferrari to me sounded a little bit better than the Haas and the Cadillac. Maybe not. That was the Cadillac just there. Okay, just wanted to let you guys hear some good audio there. Cool. We've got some info from Andrea Galante. Aston Martin's is the second team along with Mercedes to have the nose pylons mounted on the second element, with only the third flap being movable. So, yeah, we've yet to see what Williams is going to do. They didn't even make it to the track this week. But we do have two cars, Mercedes and Aston Martin, that are not moving that middle wing. They have got the fixed middle wing, as you can see there on both of those. And they're only moving the third wing on the front. All this is the front wing. The third section there is the only movable ones. So there must be a reason for that, and I'm sure it's aerodynamic some way. If somehow, okay, we've got a look at all the cars here. Look at this lineup, guys. These cars look sexy, don't they? Aston Martin there at the bottom with no livery on it yet, but aggressive for sure. Look at those side pods. Look at how aggressive that is, and that intake there, that sharp bite upward intake with the downwashing side pod there. Oracle doesn't even, Red Bull doesn't even really have a side pod. Look at that. Look at how tight that bodywork goes up close to the engine. Mercedes has a little more of a side pod there. Ferrari has a good looking side pod, and McLaren's smaller taper there. So each one's different, look at between the McLaren tapering off quick there and the Ferrari kind of sloped back a little bit more. Of course, they are at a little different angle there. It's kind of hard to tell. But yeah, all these noses are different. Look at that. I mean, it's like they're slanting upward a little bit on some of these. That Red Bull slants up a little bit. Looks like Mercedes might be kind of down a little bit. Interesting. They all have different takes, don't they? And that McLaren. There's so much to look at. We're just going to go through and do the best we can and look at all this stuff. Motorsportive says that breaking in December, there was talks about a constructor reportedly developing an electronic solution for the front wing aero control, moving away from hydraulics. Interesting, huh? The concept could reduce weight and unlock a performance game, though the technical challenge is significant. Ferrari are not involved, and Mercedes ran a hydraulic system during testing. So which ones are going to be running electronic actuators for that aero control? They'll save some weight not having to, push all the hydraulic fluid around. Every ounce counts in this stuff, guys. Formula Aerodynamics says that during Barcelona, Aston Martin caught attention by running a blue central rear warning light instead of the usual red. So I've yet to see this blue light. What's the blue light for on the back? So it's to warn the other cars, though. The blue light was used to warn other drivers that the Aston Martin was running speed-limited laps, particularly on the straights, as part of its early testing program. With the modern F1 cars accelerating aggressively out of corners, the visual cue helped prevent others from being caught out by the car's reduced straight line speed. That's really good. Like they should use that more. How many times have we seen a car pulling off to the side or having issues, and one's coming up right fast right behind it and has to react so quickly to keep from just... Oh, man, this sport is so intense, extreme. I love it. Ollie Behrman for the American Haas teams got a take on this week.
So, testing finished on my side. Esteban is still running right now. This final day has been a very productive one for us. You know, day 2 for us was not the best. We had quite a few issues on the car and only managed to do 40 or so laps. This morning alone, we managed to get into triple digits, so that was really positive. First real feeling of the car, and the first time that we could really start to push it and understand what the car wanted from us, what set of directions to take, at least on this track. So yeah, I'm really happy with how it started. Esteban is continuing the work based on what I was feeding back this morning, and now I think the next few weeks are going to be incredibly important to establish a direction before we head to Bahrain, where we continue the work that we started off here in Barcelona. But overall, I'm really happy to be back in the car. It's been a long winter break, so it's nice to be driving again. Of course, it's a new regulation set, so there are so many new things to get used to, so many extra systems for us as drivers, but also for the engineers, for the mechanics, for everyone working on this new car. But I'm really excited to be a part of this project, and hope that we can achieve some good things.
Congratulations to Haas and the drivers for Haas for showing up with a pretty good car this week. Ollie's a really good driver. I wouldn't be surprised that Ferrari try to get him back one day. Really good driver. And what else do we have? Just a little clip from Red Bull. Guys, joking around the paddock there. Can't play too much music for copyright, but we will play our own music. How's that sound? How about, here we go. I got my synthesizer. That Red Bull looks good. All right. There's some more cars. Hope you guys enjoyed this week's testing. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I'll be back with another one as soon as I can. Thank you for liking and subscribing, guys. Liberty Lab out.